I love coming to this school because it's a really tight-knit community. Everybody knows who everybody is, and if you don't, you'll get introduced soon. And this place, it really helped me through a really dark time in my life. You had a lot of death in the family, and it felt like I didn't really have anything to live for at that time. And they just brought me back to reality.
Nice. What's that like?
Well, it's like having a safety net of loving and nurturing human beings who want to help you through anything that you are going through.
And what was that worth to you?
Everything.
Priceless, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have you grown up in this community?
I came here when I started middle school. So
Okay.
I originally grew up in Quartz Hill.
And what's the best moment you've had in your experience here in the school district?
Probably joining this class or being on stage.
And what'd that do for you?
Really boosted my confidence. I'm a whole different person than I was when I started. I used to be really shy, not knowing what to do with my hands or self. And then they welcomed me with open arms.
I love this school because I've been born and raised in this community. Like, it's been my whole life, as long as I can remember. And this feels like high school here feels like the last rite of passage. Like, I've come into this town and I've come into this because Acton itself, and Vasquez especially, has, like a lot of people say, is the sense of community. Like, everybody knows each other, everybody knows everything about each other. And this feels like my final rite going through my upbringing in Acton before I move on and flourish somewhere else.
And why do you love this school?
Because my friends are here, my connections. I came in from Sacramento during middle school, and I came in from being homeschooled, so I didn't really have many connections. So getting to grow connections with people that are now like some of my closest friends is really great, and I really wouldn't trade that. And I've even made some connections with a lot of the teachers, which is nice to have different views when I talk to my friends from an adult to a teenage.
Can you give us like an example of what teachers have done to you or helped you or taught you that have kind of made your life better?
Well, my first math teacher, he taught me that being normal is a perspective to yourself, and that you don't really need to change that perspective for anybody else.
So how have you used that in your life since you got that wisdom?
Well, I've used it to accept myself because I always saw myself as a weirdo, and like I didn't really fit in, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then I realized it's not that I just don't fit in, I'm just myself, and there's other people like me, and I can go hang out with them instead of having to like change myself to fit other people.
Do you love this school?
I do. It's a really great environment, and there's so many good people here who are really just giving and caring and really want to help.
You know, you're a teenager. How does that help a teenager when so many people are willing to help you?
I think that it's really helpful because as a teenager, you always feel kind of alone, like you're going through all these changes, and literally everyone around you is also doing that. So even though there is a lot of times when you still do feel alone, there's always that safety net to kind of reel you back in and help you understand that you aren't alone and that there are thousands of people around you who are here to help.
So why do you love this school?
I love this school because I've gone through a lot of changes recently, and just everybody, even in this room itself, are basically the entirety of my friends.
Okay.
Ever. And
Nice.
so they're the people who have brought me back up from getting myself thrown in the mud and just beaten down by life. They brought me back up. So that's one of the big reasons.
That sounds like a pretty big reason to me. Wow. Can you even give us a little bit more, but without revealing anything? Like, what did it feel like when you're in the mud and then people are picking you up or spraying you off, or whatever analogy you want to use?
How do I say this? in order to do this. A lot of my friends before I even joined this group they were really good friends. They were like a group of like 5 friends that I'd had throughout since like first grade, I think. And maybe before that, I have no clue. That's how long. But I kind of went through a lot of drama with them. And then I met Tyler, Mackenzie, the other Mackenzie, wherever she is.
We're both.
I know. Both Mackenzies. I met basically everybody in this room and went, all right, I have new friends. I can get away from them and any of the toxic things that they've put on me for whatever they've been going through. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that toxicity in my life. And so they've given me the bright, shining stars that I need.
Wow. And how's that going to help you in the future?
A lot of these people, like the people that I've met in here, well, a couple of them are actually in the performing arts industry already outside of school. And they've given me an in there as well. And for just amazing people and the energy that I'm around when even here and outside of school with the performing arts that I do, it's changed my life for the better.
Because you have a lot of presence. Like, I'm feeling it. Like a strong, right? She's strong?
Yeah.
Right? Where'd that come from?
I think it comes from having mostly adults as my peers growing up because I'm an only child, and so I never really had any friends outside of that close-knit 5 friends, maybe twice a month getting together because we are all busy. And I'm always getting dragged along by my parents to like all the things they do because they couldn't just leave me home alone at like 10 years old, right? So I made acquaintances with a lot of adults, and so I think that's where it comes from.
Why do you love this school?
I love it because I've grown up here, and it's nice to not have to try so hard to be myself because everyone just knows how I am already. So I don't have to worry about being perfect all the time, and yeah.
And what's that like to just be surrounded by people who know you, accept you, and are your friend?
Well, it's really nice if you're bossy because then your friends just like do what you ask them to. And when they come over to your house, they do your chores.
Really?
Sometimes.
That sounds like a movie that you need to make. Wow.
But it's also nice because I don't have to explain myself. When I, like, some of my friends, they're really in tune with my emotions, and they know when I'm not feeling great. They know when I'm mad at someone, and sometimes they'll go and talk to the person before I even get there, and let them know, like, hey, she's mad at you. It's nice because I'm really bad at confrontation sometimes, so my friends, like, kind of nudge me to do that. They're like, hey, you need to talk about this, and I appreciate that they do that for me.
I love this school because it's, like everyone's been saying, a really tight-knit community, and it's very easy to just get to know everybody, and it's very safe to be yourself, so it's really easy to establish a good sense of self as you're growing up.
And what is your sense of self?
Mine personally, I feel like I'm still figuring that out, and I think I will be for a really long time, but so far it's just like a problem solver, I think, that like helps people out.
Nice. And have you lived in the community for a while?
I've lived here my whole life.
Whole life?
Yes, I've never moved houses. I've been in the same school district, so it's definitely been in this little bubble.
And what's that been like?
It's been, like I said, it's been easy to kind of figure out who I am and to become confident in myself and meet other new people, but at the same time, it hasn't really exposed me to a lot of different things. That's why I'd like to kind of see how the rest of the world's like eventually.
You want to get out of the nest and see what else is out there, huh?
Yes.
I love the school as opposed to schools in Palmdale. It's really easy to get lost in those types of communities. And so coming to Vasquez, it's easier to just be yourself and stand out.
And how does that help you?
It helps me figure out like who I am as much as it helps everybody else, you know. We all are here for each other and help each other along the way.
And what have you learned about yourself?
Oh, I've learned a lot. I've learned to see more of other people's perspectives, and so to try and see from their point of view. Everyone has a different point of view, and try to be as open-minded as possible.
How has this community changed your life?
It's changed my life for the better, I would say. Personally, like, coming here my first year, I wasn't too excited because I had to, like, depart from Lancaster and Palmdale. But since this school is such a small community, you literally like feel like you're part of a family. It doesn't feel like you're coming into high school. And as a student here, the staff and everybody in the school is supportive of you. It wants you to pass your classes, wants you to do better, which is different from where I come from.
Because the other ones, they didn't care. Come, don't come, fail, get an A. It's all good, right?
Yeah.
And how's this school helping you out?
This school has helped me out in many ways. It definitely helped me growing up and shaped me to who I am today because of the people, the teachers, the programs we have here. So the way everything is at our school is it's based on the interests that we have here. As a bigger school, they already have set classes. So it's kind of like student driven.